just like you know, it's a little more song oriented. I think like, you know, when we first started, we were just like, you know, let's play the most tripped out like 13-minute long song, and you know, it's a little more dynamic now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think, you know, all the elements from the beginning are still there, you know, because you have these heavy riffs and you have these psychedelic jams. You know, you want something that really evokes images and is powerful, but then also, yeah, we've just gotten more comfortable writing songs and stronger vocally, and then you all know when to restrain and when to really go for it instead of just going for it all the time straight through. You know, we're all like more tasteful players, I would say, you know. I definitely grew up listening to a lot of Jay Mascis, you know, just that kind of guitar, whether it's Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. So it was really awesome playing with Dinosaur Jr. and seeing that every night. It was super cool. What else?
I was a big Fugazi fan when I was a kid, and we played a bunch of shows with them when we were based out of DC.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah, it's one of those things growing up in DC, you know, you're always like, oh man, I just want to play with Fugazi, you know, and finally when we got to the point where we were like, you know, we want to do something completely different than any kind of punk, like just let's do something really psychedelic and drawn out guitar solos, and then that was when we kind of ended up playing with all these DC punk bands, you know.
Yeah, they became sort of like our first biggest champions, you know.
Yeah, because they were really open-minded dudes, you know, they spawned that whole scene, but they were like, you know, they loved like all kinds of music, you know.
Yeah.
I got that Telecaster that I played, the wood one, when I was 14, you know, you just get used to it, you know, it becomes an instrument, I guess, you know, and never really thought to play anything else. And yeah, you know, I always like Fenders too. I have the orange and the Fender, and I like them both. Either one without the other wouldn't be as cool. I think orange is so dark and like cool, it's dark mid-range and it's the power, but the Fender with highs and lows, and the spring reverb, I'm such a fan of like good spring reverb in the amp, you know, so I think the combination really works well. And being a three-piece, having more than one amp, I think is super cool because it just widens the spectrum, you know.
Yeah, and what have you got out in your pedal board for this tour?
You know, I've had the same pedals for a long time. I've Rat, Big Muff, Voxwa, a Rotovibe, and then a company called Caitlin Bread. They're super cool, and made a couple pedals for me. They're really cool. There's one called the Dead Merkin, which is a fuzz, has a blend knob, so you can kind of dial it in, and they make a whole bunch of cool pedals.
Yeah, I've had that Rickenbacker for years. It was the second bass I ever owned. You know, it's sort of family at this point. I mean, it's like, you know, it's such a part of me and my playing. You know, I love it.
Yeah, and what are you playing through?
I have an orange, and I've got some oranges back at home, and then it's lucky enough that we're able to get some oranges for here too. So it's really cool. I like I like how there's like a darkness to them. There's like a tone that's like, you know, when we were in New Zealand, we were able to use orange amps. We were using kind of more of whatever they had there, and I don't know, it just doesn't quite have the same sort of effect. I think there is something to those amps for one reason or another that really adds something to the overall dynamics and tone and feel of the band that I'll throw on. And have, you know, compression pedals and things like that, but not too much. I mean, it's pretty straight up sort of playing.
You actually run two orange stacks sometimes in the US, yes too.
So when you can get bass just right, where it can just really like kind of make people in the front rows, insides kind of, you know, move around, and it's kind of like an experiment to try to get it to those levels. Like, what do you have to twist the knob to kind of get it the right way?
When I'm on tour, I like Ludwig. That's my favorite drum company. And you know, here I play what I can play. You know, it's not always what I want. But back home, I have I like Vistalites, the acrylic drums that Ludwig makes, and I have one from the early '70s, clear plastic. Actually, you know, it's funny you asked me about collecting gear, because I used to have a whole like collection of drum machines and synthesizers, but I just sell them all because I'm broke.
For Dead Meadow, you know, it's pretty much like the combination with the Fender. You know, what we got really works so well for what we do, you know. And then you always mess with a little pedal, but pretty much it's pretty standard. Yeah, we definitely play anything we need to work on, you know, depending on how much time we have, you know, we definitely mess around with some new stuff, you know, and for us, I feel like songs, it's always better when we write a new song if we play it live a whole bunch before we record it. As soon as you start playing it live, it changes so much. All of a sudden you feel like, oh, that part's not quite kicking, oh, this part's real good, we should do that longer, you know, just all of a sudden it makes sense what direction and how the part should feel, you know. I was hoping when we get it out by our fall, your spring, maybe?
We have some more songs we've been working on that we need to record, and
Yeah.
But there is some songs that have been mixed.
Trying to get a real awesome solid recording, you know, just really live feel, but then there is some more psychedelic kind of layering going on, you know, maybe more akin to a Feathers era kind of thing. I think after doing Three Kings, which was 90% live, you know, it's really cool to take advantage of, you know, what the studio has to offer. So we're definitely kind of building up some stuff like that, you know, keeping the live feel, but really layering it on. Yeah, this stuff is delicious, you know. It's so lemony.
Yeah, I love all the lemon lime sodas Australia has. It's really delicious. Our lemon lime sodas suck pretty much in the U.S. So it's good to be able to get good lemon lime soda.
And having friends for all over the place.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I meet all these like-minded people, and people come out to check it. Yeah, just meeting. You know, if I traveled, I'm not really very sociable. I wouldn't meet anyone. So it's cool playing shows that you actually meet people and talk to people. You know.
I'm not a purist, really. I'm not opposed to like people, using loops and visual effects and stuff like that. I think it can. I don't know. We just play. We just play our songs basically.
We do it because it's what we do and it's fun. You know, we like to play music. You know, so it would be really difficult to go on tour where you have to play things exactly the same every night. It would just become so stale. You know, what makes it fun is that there is this room for things to change and actually be live. You know. Trying to figure out the plan for a sound check. That's about as far as we go. Maybe slight idea of the set list for tonight. Maybe. You know.
Yeah, I don't think bands have grand plans anymore. I remember when we first started, we meet people who have these grand aspirations and things, and it's like weird with the music industry the way it is. It's just like, hey, you just keep doing it, you know, like because you enjoy doing it.